Yeah, they're sharp, isn't it? Cool. Check out the, when you go home.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm calling the January 7th, 2025 reorganization meeting to order. Please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Moment of silence to remember the services and sacrifices of the armed service members who protect our nation and the first responders who protect our neighborhoods. Thank you. This meeting was advertised in the Daily Record and the official newspapers for the Township of Rockaway. Notice was posted on the official bulletin board of Rockaway Township, the township website, and notice was filed in the office of the township clerk. I'd like to call Rabbi Herson from the Chabad Center to present the invocation.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council, township officials and staff, and fellow residents of Rockaway Township. A happy and healthy New Year to you all. Almighty Creator, Maker of heaven and earth, we live in tumultuous times with challenging global and domestic issues, as well as individuals who face the same in their personal lives. We humbly lift our eyes and ask, how can we effectively eliminate the darkness which surrounds us? And then we recall your biblical verse which states, a little light dispels a lot of darkness. As always, your Bible gives directions for every circumstance we may face. How do we dispel darkness? By emanating light, and lots of it. As the biblical verse states further, a candle of God is the soul of man. Why is the soul of man compared to a candle? To teach you that the sole purpose of a soul's descent into this physical world is to illuminate it. And every godly soul has this mission and the power to do just that. Every divine act of loving kindness and all other spiritual activities are called conduits of light, and they affect the world in a very real way. You have indeed bestowed a robust inner flame within every person, sometimes referred to as the soul. You have also taught us that when you spark that inner flame, a bonfire of luminosity spreads forth in all directions. In your great wisdom, you have designated each and every individual with the duty and capability to be a lamplighter, one who uplifts and illuminates others, and to the benefit of all humanity. As the great spiritual leader, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson, the great lover of all mankind, once shared, I studied electrical engineering at the Sorbonne, but I preferred to turn on the lights in people's souls. May you, our Heavenly Father, bless and guide the elected officials, administrators, and staff of our remarkable township with the wisdom and insight to lead, inspire, guide, and illuminate all of our residents, so that we can dedicate ourselves wholly to enhancing life in our township, to fulfilling our civic and godly duties in a luminous manner, whether it be embracing a neighbor unconditionally, and certainly never passing judgment on another, giving charity daily, regardless of the amount, and taking personal responsibility for people in need, and through working together as one united entity. living with the divine design with which you created us all. God Almighty, please bless this sacred assembly and the reorganization of our township's government. May God bless Rockaway Township, and may God bless the United States of America. Amen, and thank you.
Thank you. Roll call. Councilman Freelander.
Here.
Councilwoman Noon. Here. Councilman Brooks. Councilman Sackett.
Here.
Councilwoman Brooks. Here. Councilman Quinn.
Here.
Councilman Votovich.
Here.
Councilman Salberg.
Here.
Councilman Morrison.
Here.
Moving on to the election of the council president. I'd like to make a motion to nominate a council president.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Councilman Morrison.
I'll second that and close nominations.
Roll call. Councilman Freelander.
No.
Councilwoman Noon.
Yes.
Councilman Brooks. Councilman Sackett.
No.
Councilwoman Brooks.
Yes.
Councilman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilman Voitovich.
Yes.
Councilman Salberg.
Yes.
Councilman Morrison.
Yes.
Congratulations. I'm now turning the meeting over to Council President Morrison.
Thank you. Mayor, we'll do the swearing-ins together.
Yep.
Okay. So I'd like to make a motion to elect Rachel Brooks as Council Vice President.
I'll second that motion and close nominations.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon.
Yes.
Councilman Brooks. Councilman Sackett.
Yes.
Councilman Salberg.
Abstain.
Councilman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilman Voitovich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Brooks.
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, that's 8 yeses, 1 abstention. Congratulations, Ms. Brooks. All right, we'll both go up there. Together. Is that okay? I don't want to steal Randy's thunder. All right. Raise your right hand. Raise your right hand. I, Howard Morris,
I, Rachel Brooks,
do
do
solemnly
solemnly
swear
swear that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform
the duties of the office of
the duties of the office of
Council President
Council Vice President
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability, and I will support the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, the Constitution of the United States,
And
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, to the governments established in the United States and in this state, and the authority of the people, so help me God.
Thank you. Okay, I'd like to turn the meeting over to the mayor for his address.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to start by recognizing some key people that are here tonight or couldn't be here tonight. Senator Bucco was here earlier. He's at a reorg meeting in Roxbury, so he couldn't attend this meeting, but he wanted to give his regards. I'd like to recognize Sheriff Gannon's here tonight. Thank you for coming, Sheriff. County Commissioner Master Angelo is in the back. Thank you for coming. And I think Aura was supposed to send somebody from her office. I don't have my glass on. From Assemblywoman Dunn's office. And all these people are big supporters of Rockaway Township. So I'd like to, not necessarily give an address, but what I want to do is talk about, some of the people that are sitting out here and all these people over here and some of the great things they've done for the township this year in their roles. So I'd like to start with Public Works, right? So people are always wondering, where do my tax dollars go? What are people doing? So DPW, they repaired and rebuilt 96 catch basins. They cleaned and inspected 176 catch basins. They repaired 10 foot of pipe on Split Rock due to collapse. They installed 1,200 feet of pipe and 5 basins on Charlottesburg Road. They installed 2 basins and 300 feet of pipe. They installed 50 feet of pipe on Reservoir Road. They've micro-surfaced 64,000 square yards of roadway, which equals basically 4.8 miles of resurfacing. They're continuously repairing potholes and berms throughout the town. They clear, retain, and maintain safe roadways for 14 winter storm events. Work with multiple state and federal agencies during 2 major forest fires. And Al and Dennis did an incredible job helping with the forest fires, and they really helped the fire department prevent them from spreading too much. Trying to think, major earthquake, responded to any issues in roadways. June tornado with multiple downed trees and power outages, they help with that. Tropical storm Debbie, they trim a lot of trees, right? They do almost 350 trees they trimmed and maintained within the township. I'm just getting started. The Recreation Division, I'll get into that when I go through Parks and Rec with Dave Dyer. There's a lot of things we've done to improve recreations in town, and I'm going to go through that. I think a lot of that's going to be in Dave's report. So I'm going to pivot over to engineering and construction, Allison Ferrante's department. So that was Al North's department. Allison Ferrante's department. They issued 246 zoning permits, 44 driveway permits, 13 Board of Adjustment permits, 8 Planning Board permits, and 1,618 construction permits. They broke ground on our new water building that's going up on Old Middletown Road this year. Site improvements are also planned for existing vehicle equipment and material storage adjacent to the Old Middletown Salt Dome. Queens Road project, that was a huge project that was completed this year on time and within budget, and they did a great job, and I think we got a lot of great reviews from residents on it. There's a lot of upcoming roadway improvements this year, improvements to Reservoir Road, which the township received $1.2 million safe routes to the school infrastructure grant from NJOT and New Jersey Department of Transportation. That's the project we're going to be working on for the schools by Copeland Middle School in Stony Brook. That was awarded to them through some of the great work Allison did in the application and through the support of the Board of Education. Mechanical and utilities, including water and sewer, were installed at the historic Ford Face House. That was a big moment in the township. It's probably our most historic site, and to get to that point is awesome. And I know, Manny, you appreciate that more than anybody. Designed new Mount Hope Pond Dam rehabilitation, and it made it in accordance with NJDEP dam safety. Weather permitting, we're going to do some work around the path around Egbert Lake will be improved. We took a survey on Peterson Field, and that'll be included in some of our initiatives for next year. There's a lot, right? I'm going to now pivot to Department of Health. So Department of Health during the year was awarded $168,000 in sustaining local public health infrastructure grant and $75,000 for strengthening local public health capacities grant. And that's in 2025. In addition, the Division of Health Committee work on $495,000 strengthening local public health capacities in 2024 grant and continued managing the 3-year $646,000 enhancing public health infrastructure grant. So it's a lot of the community outreach Brittany Bernstein's doing and gets involved with, and we're really expanding that program. We've been able to defer salaries for certain people in the health department because of these grants and really add value to our community. We have contracts with Butler Borough, Jefferson Township, Boonton, and the Borough of Victory Gardens that are generating $188,000 in offsetting revenue. And we received $72,000 New Jersey Clean Communities grant. And, you know, that's what we use for Clean Communities cleanup. It's what we use to put the sign up outside. And so it defrays costs for taxpayers. You know, we have inspectors in the health department, so they do a lot. So they did 351 food inspections, investigated 141 environmental and public health nuisance complaints, and conducted 52 additional inspections at recreational bathing places, body art and tanning establishments, day camps, and other facilities. Additionally, 135 septic inspections, 10 well inspections, and they took samples for the laboratory on 32 different sampling dates. Animal control had a very busy year. They did 228 site visits involving 392 animals over the course of the year by attending to 312 wildlife issues. They vaccinated 438 dogs and cats in the rabies clinic, renewed over 1,600 of the township's 3,600 dog and cat licenses, and issued 354 enforcement letters. We conducted 25 clinics. That's pretty remarkable in our township, providing vaccination and screenings to 218 adults and 55 children. We investigated 126 cases of communicable diseases and blood lead. The nursing staff also provided wellness checks to numerous residents. So, you know, there's a lot of community outreach. We have a total of 2,293 residents participating in different programs offered by the health department. I am going to go on to recreation. So recreation runs a lot of events, and you'll hear about more events we're going to do next year. We did the Easter Festival. The Historic Society of Rockaway Township participated in the Blue Tour, where we showcased the Fort Face House. National Day of Prayer, Historic Society of Rockaway Township catalog houses presented by Eileen at the Senior Center. 2024 Memorial Day Parade, Rotary Club 5K Run, which we're going to do again next year. First time we did National Night Out. 11th Annual Rockaway Township Unico Charitable Motorcycle Run that we support with our DPW and our police force. I think this is a big one, and you're going to see news. I think we published some about a new one coming this year, but June 13th and 14th and September 23rd and 27th, we did the mobile DMV. We got great reviews on that. People seem to love it. It's really convenient. We did the annual senior picnic, which was a huge success. We had a ton of seniors attend it. We had our inaugural 9/11 ceremony, which we plan to make bigger next year. We did 6 sessions of low-impact aerobics and chair yoga, and we launched the Hometown Hero banner program. We'll be putting up those banners soon, hopefully. I know we ordered some. We had the Gazebo Concert Series, a Memorial Day tournament hosted by the Rampage, the Rockets dedication in memory of Fred Rest we helped coordinate, the first Jiva sitting volleyball clinic at White Meadow Lake Field A that Mr. Titus ran, which was a great event. Dark Lake Spectacular, senior groups annually holiday luncheon at the Meadowwood, Christmas tree lighting, and the menorah lighting. Some of the facilities improvements we did, we put new fencing at Mount Hope Pond. The pavilion's been repainted. There's a new volleyball set, new community message board. We've updated the building signage at the municipal building, as you saw. There's new benches in the lobby in the municipal building, and we updated some of the signage at the, if you didn't notice, you'll see there's new signage at the senior center. So a lot going on in recreation. Go now to fire. You guys aren't getting tired yet, are you? I'll have to go. It's pretty remarkable. Over total number of inspections, different types of inspections done, over 3,000 inspections were done. Generated the fire department inspections done by Mr. Heitzelman and the people with him, generate over $180,000 in revenue to the township. He did 6 fire origin and cause investigations. We have 2 new inspectors. For the fire companies, we ran 649 calls this year, 2 structured fires, and as you know, we had 2 wildfires that they combated and put out. We're going to be getting a new ladder truck. There's a bunch of continuing educations. We applied for a couple of grants this year. We got one for $50,000, American Relief Fund. We are also waiting for a decision on a FEMA grant that we applied for communications equipment valued at $900,000. So there's a lot out there that the fire department's been doing, and appreciate that. Tax assessors. So we started our rateable base at the beginning of 2024, and we're up $326 million from last year. We brought in $30 million in additional taxable value in September. County appeals are at an all-time low with only 20 appeals filed by May 1st, which means they're doing a good job. They're properly assessing the properties in the town. 9 appeals were settled, with the majority of them being withdrawals, reducing our tax exposure $11 million. 2 more left. Police, this is a big one. So the police attended 33,000 calls this year. 33,000 calls. 919 motor vehicle crashes, 3,600 motor vehicle encounters, 111 domestic violence incidences, 2,100 fire, medical, or 911 calls, 130 adult arrests, 28 DUIs, 995 alarm responses, 97 community policing events, which is big, right? Our cops are out there interacting with the community, making themselves seen. 1,700 residential commercial property checks. They assisted other agencies 184 times, and 1,500 times they issued 1,500 motor vehicle tickets. From a staffing standpoint, we graduated 7 recruits this year, 3 out of Passaic County and 4 out of Morris County. We had 2 officers assigned to the Detective Bureau. We promoted 3 officers to the rank of sergeant. We promoted 1 sergeant to the rank of lieutenant. We promoted 1 lieutenant to the rank of captain, and I'll talk about the other one. Community policing programs, we continue to work with the RTBOE, the Board of Ed, and promote the LEAD program. The officers permitted safety training and public relations events, and our first annual National Night Out that they helped run was a great job. A couple of Shop with a Cop events, did a Coffee with a Cop event. It's just been overall a very busy year for a police department, and I did want to talk finally about the mayor's department. So some of the things we've done to help the township, we were able to combine the BA and CFO roles this year. That move alone, first of all, getting somebody at least as quality in that position is saving the township roughly $20,000 a year by combining those 2 roles. The marriage ordinance we put in when I became mayor, based on the number of weddings I've done this year, have generated $4,000 in revenue for the township, bottom line revenue for the weddings I'm doing. Wow, I'm marrying a lot of people. It's like all the time. We submitted a 0 municipal tax rate increase budget to the council in 2024. We appointed a new chief of police, Chief Shear, who's just done a phenomenal job, and you could see a change in the police force happening. We hired a new water superintendent. We hired an event planner, Shannon, who's going to do a great job next year and has already started with running on the ground. We onboarded over 30 new people on our team, on Team Rockaway. We had a couple of Eagle Scout projects and Girl Scout Silver projects. We put if you haven't been by the Senior Center, you should drive by. There's a new flagpole and new landscaping done by an Eagle Scout. There's a Take a Book, Leave a Book at Park Lake that we helped a Girl Scout do for her Silver project. So we did a lot, I think, to help the community. And, as we head into next year, you're going to see some new events coming out. I don't want to spoil any surprises. There's going to be a senior prom for seniors. There's going to be a scavenger hunt at the mall, a family scavenger hunt. I'm spoiling it. Spoiler alert. No pressure, Shannon. You'll see some next stages in the development of Peterson Field and some next stages on what we're looking at up at Enholm Field. We're going to evaluate all senior services and determine how to get more involvement. I think we have some great senior programs, but when I look at the participation rate, it's pretty low. So we need to figure out how to better reach out to seniors and get them involved in exercise, get them involved in dial-a-ride, get them involved in everything so we can increase those participation rates. And we're also going to continue to look for ways to fund some of these activities from grants and from outreaching to local companies. We just talked to PNC, and they're going to be helping us sponsor the senior prom. So, having to be able to do these events and not have it affect taxpayers is something we're really, working hard at. So I'd like to thank all the people at this table for the great job you did this year and you do every day. And that was a small token of my appreciation. So thank you all for what you do.
Okay, moving on to mayor's appointments. Mr. Yachafano, should I read each name?
Yes.
Okay. Clean Communities Coordinator, one-year term ending 12/31/25, Cara Solano. Recycling Coordinator, one-year term ending 12/31/25, Al Nath. Community Development Revenue Sharing Committee, one-year term ending 12/31/25, Peter Tabbitt as the regular member, Allison Fronte as the alternate member, and this is going to be changed to Mary New for the council committee rep. Planning Board, Class 3, one-year term ending 12/31/25, Jack Quinn. Class 4 member, four-year term ending 12/31/28, William Simpkins. An alternate, two-year term ending 12/31/26, Jennifer Myers. Shade Tree Commission, one-year term ending 12/31/25, Kevin Casco. Environmental Advisory Committee, one-year term ending 12/31/25, Gerald Applebaum, Judith Brown, Mark Heiler, Douglas Bratton, Yoginder Gupta, Erin DeCourt, and Neil Weiss. Municipal Alliance Committee, one-year term ending 12/31/25, Brenda Budd and Sue Gabe. Emergency Management, one-year term expiring 12/31/27, Coordinator, Chief Sheriff. First Deputy, Captain Michael Datchison. First Deputy, Bert Parks. Library Board Trustee, five-year term expiring 12/31/28, Ray Furman and Joanne Claps. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freeland.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon.
Yes.
Councilman Brooks. Councilman Sackett.
Yes.
Councilman Salberg.
Yes.
Councilman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilman Vojtovich.
Yes.
Council Vice President Brooks.
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, that's 9 yeses, motion carries. Council President appointments. All of these are one-year terms ending 12/31/25.
Council President?
Yes.
I have a question on one of them.
Do you want to
Wait
say it
till you
first,
get
or do you
to-
want me to read it first?
You can do it last, it doesn't matter.
All right, I'll read them off, and then I'll give you the time.
Okay.
Okay.
Be quick.
Council Liaisons, Board of Education Regional, Councilman Doug Brooks. Board of Education Local, Council Vice President Brooks. Citizens Recreation Committee, Councilman Quinn. Citizens Rec Committee Alternate, Councilman Salberg. County Commissioners, Councilman Salberg. County Commissioners Alternate, Councilwoman Noon. Historical Society, Councilman Friedlander. Library Board of Trustees, Councilman Friedlander. Library Board of Trustees Alternate, Vice President Brooks. Morris Council on Older Persons, Councilwoman Noon, Councilman Witovich. Municipal Alliance Committee, Councilman Friedlander. Senior Citizens, Councilman Sackett, Councilman Quinn, and Councilwoman Noon. Local Emergency Planning Council, Councilman Sackett, Councilman Witovich, and Councilman Brooks. Vehicle Review Committee, Councilman Sackett, Councilwoman Noon, Councilman Quinn, and the Ordinance Committee, Councilman Brooks, Councilwoman Noon, Councilman Quinn. Mr. Friedlander.
Yes. Thank you, Council President. I have a question. Probably you'll have to do a little history. This is for the attorney and the administration. Number 15, the Ordinance Committee. Going back a long time, that was established that the ordinance committee was the only bipartisan committee established by the town. I'd like to go back to the old ways and make sure that that committee is bipartisan. So we'd have to add and subtract, if you want to check. I was involved with it back when Senator Dorsey was the town attorney, and that's when it was corrected and set back in place at that time, and we're going back almost 30 years.
Council,
No, I would just suggest that we take that away and do some research. I would hope that we wouldn't politicize ordinances along political affiliations. You know, I mean, we all live in work, or, you know, we all live in Rockaway. You know, I don't remember.
yeah, if I may, Council President, as presently structured in our code, the language concerning the ordinance committee contains no reference to the constituency of the committee. It's obviously members of the council, but it makes no reference to the political affiliation of any member. That's what the present ordinance says, okay? I didn't write it, it's been there, okay? I don't know how long it's been there, but that's what it says presently. So if the council as a whole wants me to look into that issue, that's what's going to be required for me to do that. If the council as a whole votes for me to look at that issue, I'll be happy to look at it and provide you with some follow-up by the next meeting.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't ever remember an ordinance being voted on along political lines, but
Well, it
it's
happened.
yours if you want to make the motion. Then.
Well, I'd like to make a motion because it happened to me personally. I was on.
Just to clarify,
Yeah.
if I may, Councilman, I think what you're saying, and please tell me if I'm wrong, I think what you're saying is you want the section of the administrative code that deals with the constituency of the ordinance committee to specifically reference that the committee be equally represented by members of both parties.
Yes.
Now, and I accept what you're telling me about it once being that way, okay? It's before my time.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. It happened when
That goes back, my
Senator
time.
Dorsey. And it
And
happened.
listen, guys, we can
Yeah.
go about what
Yeah.
we think it was and what
Okay,
it wasn't
well,
was.
you know,
If you want to make the motion, by all means.
I'd like to make a motion to look into it to see if it was established back when to be reinstated that way. And that was the only ordinance that.
That's okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Sorry, hang on.
It's going to be pretty involved research, and I will tell you that the problem with putting language like that in a municipality like this, in an ordinance, is what happens if you don't have sufficient members of both political parties to enable what the ordinance says.
So maybe what we could do, and again, this is up to the councilman, if we want to, at least before we vote on it, maybe if he wants to recall the motion, you can just do a little initial thoughts. If you still want to pursue it, by all means, instead of spending time. I also don't see how it could be equal representation when there's 3 members of the committee.
That's another problem.
Right, so that's another problem. So it's
Well,
up to you.
it's-
If you want to continue,
Yeah, I do, because
Okay.
whether it's 3 or 4,
Mr.
bipartisan. means
Councilman, it's
they're not-
okay. The motion is out there
Okay.
and seconded.
All
Thank
right,
you.
could I just ask a question?
Yeah.
So he's just asking for research to be done to see if it was that way? We're not asking to change it, correct?
No,
That's what you're asking
no,
for?
no. I'm
Okay.
looking to reinforce my question because it happened to me personally back then. I was on it, taken off, and put back because of that situation. So I would like to bring it back. Whether, 3 people, it's going to be odd even anyway.
Well, let me suggest something that I think will make the most sense, and if you like what I'm going to say, then you might want to consider amending your motion. The research into what was, that is to say, how the ordinance was phrased previously, is going to be all up to the clerks. That won't be my work product.
I tell you what, Mr. Iatrofano and Councilman, and this may serve to bypass all of that. We did not take a motion on my council appointments. on the council president appointments. So let me amend the ordinance committee, because again, I think anybody on the council would serve it fine. So let's change the ordinance committee. Mr. Brooks, I will remove you, if that's okay. And I'll add Councilman Freelander.
Can I make a suggestion?
Hang on, 1 second. I'm sorry, yes, just give me 1 second. So, would that satisfy?
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be me or another,
Councilman,
person of
I
the
think you're a long tenured, respectable council member, and
Thank you.
I respect your opinion. So if we're gonna change it, let's change it. Councilman Brooks served for a year, and we'll just put Councilman Friedlander. Now, what I just procedurally, Councilwoman Noon, ask your question, and then he will need to pull back his motion? Or amend it? Amend it, okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Were you just asking to be on it, or were you just asking a question?
No, I
Or
wasn't
could
asking.
Councilman Sackett be on it?
I was
He
asking
wasn't
personally. I didn't say my name or.
Okay.
He
Councilman
wasn't
Sackett.
asking to be on it, but at Council Vice President's, it was her idea, and it's fine with me.
That's up to the council president after, if
Yeah,
it was
I don't
established as
I don't
bipartisan.
assign committees along political party.
Yeah.
I just assign it to whoever I think will do the best job, and I think you'll do a fine job.
Thank you. It's just, I'd like certain things to go back the way they were, and that
Okay.
was one of them, that's it.
So if you could, first, you need to amend your motion
Yes.
to, instead of doing the research, maybe just send out your thoughts via email, and then my motion to pass this as stated.
Okay, I make the motion to rescind my motion.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, now, can I have a motion for the new restated appointments?
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander.
Yes,
Councilwoman Noon.
Yes.
Councilman Brooks. Councilman Sackett.
Yes.
Councilman Salberg.
Yes.
Councilman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilman Vojtovich.
Yes.
Council Vice President Brooks.
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, it's 8 yeses, 1 noes, motion passes. Okay, moving on to Township Council appointments. Auditor, 1-year term ending 12/31/25, Nisavachi and Company LLP. Planning Board, Class 3, 1-year term ending 12/31/25, Jack Quinn. Councilman Development and Revenue Sharing Committee, 1-year term ending 12/31/25, administration represented by Allison Ferrante, Council Representative Mary Noon as liaison. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander.
yes,
Councilwoman Noon.
Yes.
Councilman Brooks. Councilman Sackett.
Yes.
Councilman Salberg.
Yes.
Councilman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilman Vojtovich.
Yes.
Council Vice President Brooks.
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, that's 9 yeses, motion carries. Okay, approval of the minutes from the December 10th, 2024 council regular meetings. Can I have a
So
motion?
moved.
second,
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander.
yes,
Councilwoman Noon.
Yes.
Councilman Brooks. Councilman Sackett.
Yes.
Councilman Salberg.
Yes.
Councilman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilman Vojtovich.
Yes.
Council Vice President Brooks.
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Abstain. That's 8 yeses, 1 abstention, motion passes. Consent agenda. It's going to be R2501, and then R2504 through R2530. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
second,
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander.
yes,
Councilwoman Noon.
Yes.
Councilman Brooks. Councilman Sackett.
Yes.
Councilman Salberg.
Yes.
Councilman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilman Vojtovich,
Yes.
Council Vice President Brooks,
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, that's 9 yeses, motion carries. Moving on to appointments, Cole Brennan, Fire Company 3, transitioning from junior to full membership. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon,
Yes.
Councilman Brooks, Councilman Sackett,
Yes.
Councilman Salberg,
Yes.
Councilman Quinn,
Yes.
Councilman Vojtovich,
Yes.
Council Vice President Brooks,
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, that's 9 yeses, motion carries. Okay, moving on to the open to the public. Before opening the public portion of this meeting, I want to remind everybody of the rules that apply to anyone who wants to address the council. Any member of the public wishing to address the council will have 3 minutes to do so. While an extension of the time may be requested, it should not be assumed that an extension of time will be granted. While addressing the council, members of the public may not address or question any individual council member. If anyone addressing the council violates these rules or conducts themselves inappropriately, their speaking opportunity will be terminated, and they will be instructed to return to their seat. A refusal to comply will result in removal from the room. Members of the public in attendance may not make comments from the audience without recognition by the chair. Persons doing so will be subject to removal from the room. As council president, I have tremendous respect for my fellow council members and the public who take the time and effort to attend council meetings. These rules are necessary to permit the council to do its business in an orderly and professional manner. Michael Lombardi.
Good evening, Michael Lombardi, 19 North Brookside Drive, Rockaway. Happy New Year, everyone. I don't know, did you miss me? I've been gone for a while.
Yes.
Few things. There's several dead trees that like overhang the roads. I told the previous business administrator about it. They're still there. It just seems to be a pretty big hazard that they're leaning right into the street on between Lake Shore and Hibernia. There's one at 23 North Brookside Drive. That one piece broke off last year. Pieces keep dropping into the street, but a bigger piece can't come down on a car. The storm drains, I heard the mayor mention how many storm drains have been repaired. I don't know if something could be said to the employees of the township. There's trucks driving around all over the place to keep their eyes out for these kinds of things. I mean, if I see them, I would think some of them could see them, just the same: dead trees, storm drains, other hazards at, intersections and stuff like that. Trees that, or bushes that encroach the sight lines from a stop sign. We got a ton of employees out there. Maybe something could be said that we can use their eyes out there to help take care of some of these safety issues. Mount Hope Avenue, the trucks coming, more going to the quarry because they're empty and they're racing to get another load. Sometimes they come flying off the highway, down past Fox Hills, and where Richard Mine Road is, it's kind of a blind corner as it is. We did get the DOT to cut those bushes back some, but it's still, even if the bushes weren't there, it's still a blind curve, and those trucks fly. You look left, you look right, and the time you look left again, they're there, because they're going more than 30 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour. Then when they're loaded, they're dumping rocks, and I know they sweep, but they don't sweep onto the entrance ramps on Route 80. They don't sweep when you make the left to get on 80 East, and they dump rocks. If you're there, the rocks are spilled as they make their left turn, so when cars are going through the green light, they're spitting rocks up at the cars behind them. I mean, it's chronic. It's not once in a while, it's always. You need to do a mailbox, go over there and sweep up some rocks. You don't have to go to Home Depot. Lawn signs. I know you can put them on your own lawn, but people put them on the right-of-ways, and they stay there forever. It's one thing when there's an event. White Meadow Lake does it for our events, and then we pick them up after the event. People running for elections do it, they pick them up. But you got people advertising their business. They should be paying for that. They shouldn't be putting them on the corner of Sanders and Green Pond and at the end of Fleetwood, and they just sit there forever. They get knocked over, they become litter. They're all over the place now. So, I don't know if you need an ordinance for that, but there should be something done where it doesn't just pollute the neighborhood, which is really what it's becoming. Lastly, on voting, if we could do something with the parking here, because there's a lot of old people that come to vote, and there was a ton of employee vehicles and Rockaway Township vehicles parked close to the building. I know it's limited parking, but maybe, when we expect a large turnout for an election, we could maybe open up some of the spaces closer to the building when there's a election or something major going on here. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody from the public that did not fill out the sheet that wishes to speak? Just name and address for the record.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jeffrey Wood. I actually live in West Windsor Township. I'm here to represent Assemblywoman Ora Dunn. Just want to extend my best wishes and the regrets for the Assemblywoman being unable to attend tonight. She sends her congratulations and her well wishes for the year ahead. Just want to submit a formal letter of regrets for the record. And that's all.
You can give that to the clerk. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm here on behalf of Assemblyman Baranko. Again, he sends his regrets that he couldn't be here in person. He congratulates all the newly elected people and looks forward to working with you this year.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else? Going. At this point, I'd like to hand the meeting back over to Rabbi Harrison.
Almighty Father in heaven and on earth, you created this world and each divine soul within it in such a curious manner. At the outset, you created massive amounts of animals, birds, fish, vegetation, stars, and planetary bodies, but only one man and one woman. This seems so odd. One man and one woman to inhabit the entire earth? Why not masses of human beings to inhabit the planet just like any other creation? But the lesson here is all-powerful. The remarkable design of creation is to teach us that every person is an entire world, and that the entire world revolves around every person. Every single person is charged with a unique and critical mission which directly affects the world and those who reside in it. And that is why every human being is so precious in your eyes, and hopefully in the eyes of each and every one of us as well. Through acts of loving kindness and reaching out to those in need, materially, emotionally, or spiritually, each of us, especially as we work together as one, can without doubt transform this material world into a caring, gentle, and godly place. And this is the purpose of all creation. It is so important to connect any point of inspiration with action. One such action, which is easy and consistent, but whose impact is immeasurable, is that godly commandment to give charity every day. Regardless of quantity, regardless of who it goes to, but to help others in need, and to think about others in need every single day. It could be a formal charity box that can be obtained from many organizations, or a person can use any container or cup and disperse the contents at their convenience. But what's most important is that every day, and hopefully even at the day's outset, we think about the needs of others in the physical. Charity makes a huge impact on the recipients, but the impact upon the giver is even greater. This does not require a lifestyle change, but it does change lives in a most dramatic way. Giving charity daily is a godly act, but it also reminds us that we have not only an obligation to ourselves and our families, but also to our neighbors and society in general. And last but not least, on every, whether it be paper or coinage, you'll see engraved the national motto of the United States of America, which itself, when we do the act, sends a tremendous and powerful message. What it says there is, "In God we trust." And this is our one and only national motto. Regardless of the circumstances at hand, to always remember, when we do our best to make this world into a gentle, loving, and godly place, we have the ultimate backer, and we have not only faith in such, but trust, which is much deeper. Help us, dear God, to absorb this message of love and caring for all people in our township and beyond, and with trust in you. God Almighty, please bless this sacred assembly and reorganization of our township's government, and guide our township's leaders so that they can heighten the material and moral fiber of our blessed township. Thank you, good night, a happy and healthy new year, and may God bless you all.
Rabbi, thank you for your continued time and support. Okay, moving on to reports. First, I'm going to go first. So I want to thank the council for their, again, for their vote of confidence in electing me council president again. I think we accomplished a lot of really, really good things last year, and I think we grew as a council. So I certainly appreciate the time and effort that everybody puts in. And again, for those that don't know, there's a lot of time that's put in besides what everybody sees, and that is appreciated. I want to bring up a lot of times there's comments made about, the township not doing enough to bring businesses into Rockaway. And all I've been reading about in the papers lately is, the new donut facility that's going in. Actually, a couple of the papers are calling Rockaway now the donut capital of the country. We will actually be producing more donuts per day than anywhere else in the country. Is there, on a serious note, have we put in funding? I know the captain wants a police substation put in. The chief.
That's cold.
The chief wants a, I'm sorry.
I had to go there.
That was low-hanging fruit. I had to do it. I'm really sorry. But that's great news, yeah, no. I might hit a low-hanging branch. But, just to, it's like that's big. We talk about vacancies at the mall, and, a store here and there is great, but a major facility like that taking over a very large empty building where Party City used to be is just really, really good. I'm looking forward to how good the township is going to smell when that goes in. We will start with Councilman Brooks.
Thank you, Council President. Just have two things. One, I already spoke to administration about cars on the road when it's snowing. So I know they're gonna look into that over by the Circle Drive area. And then also, I just want to bring out to the chief, at some point I'd like to sit down and go over some of the options for Circle Drive for Halloween. Maybe changing some of the, maybe go one way or something. Some of the residents have reached out to me, so I want to speak to them about it, but not while I'm sick, so. That's it.
Councilman Quinn?
Yes, thank you. First, Happy New Year. Have a healthy and safe one to everybody. I'd like to congratulate our council president and vice president, and looking forward to working together in the new year and the new budget and moving that forward. Also, I want to thank administration for Dial-A-Ride had a Christmas party, and that turned out to be very good. They enjoyed it. They look forward to that, and I'm hoping that Dial-A-Ride can get back to having its either a breakfast and or a lunch once a month, so that they can finish building community. It's a great process that we go through with Dial-A-Ride, and it's been a phenomenal thing to have here in Rockaway Township. And lastly, Peterson Field, and Lisa, I hope you have some updates for me, because I keep asking about it, and I was told tonight you were given updates, so I will hold off and wait on that.
I'm just going to interrupt and say Allison will be reporting on that.
Allison, all right,
Something good. Better have something good to say, Allison.
all right. Well, I'll take either one. I'm happy with updates. All right, thank you. Everybody stay safe and healthy.
Councilman Sackett?
Thank you, Council President. Just looking, when we went over the consent agenda, the grant, the recreation improvement grant, I don't know if that was the one I had sent in, but I'm hoping it was, but if it wasn't, glad to see it anyway. So that's always good when we get grants and can do a lot of stuff for the town. It's good to see. We had the menorah lighting way back in 2024, and appreciate that the mayor recommended me to lead the prayers. We appreciate that. It's an honor to do so. The fire department swearing in on the 1st was very nice to see all the officers being sworn in. Just got to say this real quick. I want to wish my wife a happy birthday. It is her birthday tonight. I'm
Yes,
still at the council
happy
meeting.
birthday.
So luckily she's got some good friends that took her out for some dinner while I'm here. And looking forward to a great year with the council. Thank you so much.
Councilman Matovich?
I have nothing to report, just like to wish everybody Happy New Year.
Councilman Selberg?
Thank you, Council President. Nothing to report on the county commissioners, but again, congratulations, Council President and Vice President. And I do want to thank Rabbi Baumgarten for leading us in the menorah lighting. It was wonderful, and my family expresses its condolences, Rabbi Herson, for your loss. I just want to, again, wish all the residents, administration, and council of Rockaway Township a productive, healthy, and safe New Year. Thank you.
Councilman Friedlander?
Believe it or not, there's really nothing to say about my committees.
All right, somebody please take a note of that.
I figured that's my present.
Thank you.
I'm going to make up for it in 2025. The end of the year was a little shaky on my end,
I understand.
but I came through it, and looking forward to 2025 with everybody on the council and the administration, and everybody stay nice and healthy this year, please.
Councilwoman Noon?
Just want to wish congratulations to the council president, and vice president. Want to wish everyone a happy and healthy new year, and also to the chief. Just like Councilman Brooks said, he has an issue with Circle Drive. I have an issue with Mount Prospect. So with the maybe snow coming up, if you can keep your eye on Mount Prospect with the cars parking. Thank you.
Council Vice President?
Thank you. I will ditto that. Just in general, maybe we can send out a nixle just reminding people when bad weather's coming. Up in Ward 6, we have some of those tiny streets as well. And the cars in the road, I know, can be a challenge for our guys. So, secondly, the Board of Ed has their annual reorg tomorrow at Copeland Middle School at 7:30. I'm going to steal Manny's thunder on this one because when I saw it, I got really excited. So Friends of the Library is hosting a fundraiser called Name That Tune. It's on Friday, January 24th. The doors open at 6:30. Tickets are $10, I think. Don't hold me to that. If you follow them on social media, you can get the information. And then last but not least, I'm just looking for an update on my guardrail at Whippoorwill in Lieb Erickson. Other than that, thank you so much for voting me in, and as well as Happy New Year.
Mr. Yachafana?
Thank you, Council President. First of all, Happy New Year to everyone. In particular, congratulations to Howard and Rachel for their elections. My best wishes for a happy and healthy new year. I'd like to thank the mayor for his appointment for our firm. Lisa and I keep trying to figure this out, but this, I think, marks the start of our 23rd year with the township, either as special counsel or as township attorneys. I also, of course, thank the council for approving the mayor's appointment. Over the course of the year, we work closely with many of you and just about everyone seated to my right. We couldn't do our job for the township without everyone's help. Lisa and I we engage with each other multiple times a day, and she has made our job so much easier and better than it ever has been in all the years we've been with the township. So I thank Lisa in particular, but everybody to my right, as always, as helpful and cooperative as they could possibly be. I also want to thank the two ladies sitting up there, whose names I won't mention because they annoy me every day, but they do a wonderful job and they're appreciated. And finally, I want to let everybody in the council know that we're going to start a tuition fund collection tomorrow for the council president to attend the Don Rickles School of Comedy.
I'd like to note that I got a scholarship. And actually, just you bring up a good point. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Lisa Caruso for captaining the ship in between clerks. She did an excellent job, and very happy that she's staying as our deputy clerk. Between Adele and Lisa, we are certainly well taken care of. So thank you both. Mr. Mayor.
I'm sure you're tired of hearing me speak. I have a couple of important things. I want to make everybody aware. This month is Human Trafficking Awareness Month, and January 11th is Human Trafficking Awareness Day. We have the World Cup coming to New Jersey on June 12th and June 9th through July 19th, and there's definitely, a lot of concerns around that. There's some free seminars given. Francesca, did you bring flyers or no? Okay, so we'll have some stuff we could post on our Facebook page and on our website. There's free classes people can take, but it happens. It happens everywhere, and you need to keep your eyes open, and you need to pay attention to what's going on around you. With that said, even though it's for holidays, kind of busy month in December, we had the Treps Marketplace at Stony Brook School. If you didn't get to go, you should go. It's all the students get together, and they create something they're going to sell, I guess is basically what it is. And you go there, and the gym was packed with people. It's good that Jeff wasn't there. There probably would have been some violations, but it was incredible. The kids did some really creative, innovative stuff. We had the Rockets varsity dinner in December. Substance Alliance Abuse had a meeting. As we mentioned, the tree lighting and the menorah lighting, and Rabbi Bargon did do a very good job. It was a fun evening. He doesn't dance as good as you do, Rabbi Herson. He doesn't get out there. He doesn't, he's not as energetic in my opinion, but it was a very nice event, and it was well attended too, which was nice. I did want to read some things. First of all, for those of you that are like me and I like to go to recycling, I went to recycling the day after Christmas, and I reached out to Al because there were it's a madhouse the day after Christmas. Everything's full, even though we empty it the week before. And there were 4 of his guys up there working, and it's just they had everything neat and orderly. People were coming up. They were very friendly. I know they didn't see me when I was in line. They were very friendly with everybody. People were laughing. So just commendable job that time of year at the recycling center. But Dr. Corbett, the superintendent of schools, sent an email saying, we're very surprised by this morning's weather. I am grateful, and this was to Al, that you were focused on the conditions and called him at 4:30 this morning. In addition, with one of our trucks not working, having all our schools ready for opening would have been difficult, if not impossible. Thank you for having your men plow KDM for us. We could not have done it without you. So kudos to Al and his team for what they do. We also got a nice compliment on our animal control officer, Dan McDonald. A resident's son was bitten by a dog, and I don't know why I laughed at that. It's not funny. And they had no information on where the dog had been properly inoculated. Contact animal control. Dan immediately dropped everything to assist and got the information about the dog and the fact that the client is going to need additional inoculations. So in an age of constant criticism for the public, he's indeed a credit to your municipality, and they wanted to thank him for outstanding efforts. So great job by Dan. And again, I know I read a lot tonight, but I would put, this staff and all the workers in the township up against any municipality. They care about the township, they care about the residents, and they work really hard. And it's evident by some of the things you see going on. There's a lot of excitement going on in the building with some of the things we're going to be doing and some of the things we are doing. And I'm pleased to be working with all of them. So that's all I have tonight.
Ms. Palmieri?
I just want to wish everyone a happy and healthy new year. I look forward to working with the council, the mayor, administration, especially with the 2025 budget. And that is my report. Allison's going to give an extensive report on Peterson Field.
I was going to joke and say no report.
No report.
In regards to Peterson, we've done a lot of back office research and design, visiting other municipalities, talking with other engineers and other parks and rec, other recreation directors about the proposed amenities that we're going to have at Peterson. We're going to use 2025 to design them, working with Parks and Rec director, DPW, basically everybody. So the proposed amenities are bocce court.
You did a survey too, right?
Yes, you're stealing my thunder.
Yeah, I thought you would have covered
So,
that. Sorry.
working with Shannon as well as Brittany and Dave, we worked on a community survey to get some input from the proposed users. So the proposed improvements are not being designed in a vacuum. It's a collaborative effort, and we're hoping to get it out to bid in the fall of 2025 with a construction start in 2026. So that is the update on Peterson Field. And I also reached out to New Jersey Natural Gas today, and unfortunately, they're not slated to finish the Reservoir Road Lake Shore improvements until the end of February, beginning of March, so stay patient, but we'll push them along. Well, no, it's just going in front of Copeland. Oh, you mean the detour? Yes, that's why I wanted to give an update on that. All right, Chief?
No.
Oh, I was looking out. The guardrail? The guardrail?
.5 budget.
Yes.
Okay.
Where we at? Are you done?
Chief's gone.
Yes.
Oh, she handed off to Chief? No problem.
Yes.
Can we make a note of that too?
I know nothing about the guardrail. Congratulations, President Morrison, Vice President Brooks. I was sensing sarcasm in reference to donuts. Is this correct?
You're very defensive. I'd like to just point out that that's what you're opening with, but go ahead.
I'd like to point out the license plate of his car.
Again, so I will follow up with Circle Drive and Mount Prospect, and also with the rave for snow removal, which we typically do, and Al informs us as that takes place each year, so we can get those timely messages out to everybody. As far as the police department, I would just like to, again, recognize the entire police department, as the mayor read quite an extensive list of the activities that the police officers do on a regular basis to serve our community. All right, it's an amazing team in the police department, as well as here serving in Rockaway Township, and I'm proud to be part of that. For 2024, I would, however, like to recognize three individual officers, Officer Ateatua, Officer Redden, and Officer Jackson, on three different occasions for three different reasons: life-saving, negotiation, and again, some other life-saving mental health situations that they were dealing with, and they did an outstanding job. Proud of them, proud of the whole department, proud of Steve Hart standing over there.
Yep.
All right, so again, excellent department, proud to be part of the team. Have an excellent 2025. Look forward to it.
Mr. Knopf?
This year we only have a few storms under our belt for this season. We're expecting more salt delivery either tomorrow or Thursday. I'm officially the oldest living member of the Rockaway Township Department of Public Works. We had our last retiree effective January 1st, so that just leaves me. So, but we have a fully new crew, very proud of my guys and their work and they're doing. They're coming along well. So I just ask for a little bit of a break. It is a new crew. They do need to learn. So we're chugging through. I look forward to working through it with everybody, and Happy New Year to everyone.
Mr. Dyer?
Happy 2025. Like Allison had said, that Peterson Field, Telemark Park, Mount Hope Pond, we have some great projects coming along. But I also just want to simply say that, I don't think there's a better time to be a Rockaway Township resident. This table up here, Mayor Joe always gives us kudos, but I'm not here to brown nose, but Mayor Joe, we appreciate you. That's coming from the heart. Lisa, the place is running smooth. It's a great place to be, and we're looking forward to 2025.
Mr. Heinzelman?
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to take a moment and recognize Chief D'Amico of the Fire Department and Deputy Chief Miller on their appointment in 2025, and the assistant chiefs in the 5 companies that lead the 100 volunteers that we have that have done an outstanding job in 2024, and look forward to answering the call in 2025. Thank you.
Mr. Coward?
Happy New Year.
Okay. Our next meeting will be January 28th. We generally have is it 28th? 21st?
Yeah, 21st. It's February 28th, isn't it?
Okay. January 21st. Because normally we are the second and fourth Tuesdays, but this month we are the first and third. Okay, I just wanted to point that out. Other than that, I make a motion to adjourn by consensus. All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.